Hey, have you ever wished you could just remember everything? Well, today, we're going to break down a really powerful system that's designed to help you do just that. And listen, this isn't about cheap tricks. It's about fundamentally changing how your brain stores information so you can build a memory that actually works for you.
You know that feeling, right? You forget someone's name literally seconds after you hear it. Or you walk into a room and just totally blank on why you even went in there. Your head just feels so overloaded that you can't hold on to what actually matters. It's super frustrating, and honestly, we've all been there.
Oh man, and this one really hits home for a lot of us. That feeling of putting in all the work, the late nights, the hours of studying, only to have your mind go completely blank the second it counts. It can honestly feel like your brain is working against you. But what if that's not the real story at all? Okay, so here it is. This is the single most important idea we're going to cover today. Your memory is not broken, it's not weak, it's not faulty, it's just untrained. See, most of us were never actually taught how our memory works, so we've kind of been using it wrong this whole time. Today, that changes. We're going to build a whole new system from the ground up.
All right, so first things first. Before we can learn how to remember, we really need to understand why we forget in the first place. And it all starts with a simple but super critical distinction your brain makes between two very different kinds of memory.
So think of your short-term memory like a little whiteboard. You can jot stuff down on it, right? But it gets wiped away super easily to make room for new things. Now, your long-term memory, that's like a permanent notebook. Once something is written in there, it sticks. So the whole problem of forgetting, it's really just a failure to move information from that temporary whiteboard into the permanent notebook.
So, how do we start that transfer process? How do we get things to stick? Well, it begins with the one absolute non-negotiable foundation of all memory: attention. Seriously, without this, none of the other cool techniques we're about to talk about will work at all.
This is a total game changer. Think about it. You literally cannot remember something you didn't properly see, hear, or focus on to begin with. Your brain gets bombarded with millions of bits of information every single day. It has to choose what to keep and what to toss out. And you know what the primary filter is? It's your attention.
Imagine you accidentally leave your bag in a taxi. You try to remember the license plate, but you just can't. Why? Because you saw the car, but you didn't really look at it. Your mind was somewhere else. You never told your brain, hey, this is important, save this. Your attention is basically the command that tells your brain to hit the save button.
And get this, it doesn't take hours to do this. A lot of the time, just 5 seconds of real focused attention, a quick pause to look, to listen, to repeat something in your head. That's the difference between remembering something for life and forgetting it forever. Just 5 seconds.
Okay, so you've paid attention. The information is officially through the door. Now, how do we make it unforgettable? Well, this is where the fun really begins. We're going to open up a toolkit of creative techniques that work with your brain's natural wiring, not against it. This is so crucial to understand. If I say the word elephant, you don't see the letters E-L-E-P-H-A-N-T in your head, do you? No, you see a big, gray animal with a trunk. So to remember a name like Lily, don't just repeat the word. Picture her holding a giant bouquet of lilies. That visual hook is what your brain latches onto. And we can take this idea even further with something called the story method. So instead of a boring list of words like apple, horse, jacket, you create a crazy little movie in your mind. A giant apple falls out of the sky and smacks a horse, and the horse screams, runs into a store, and steals a jacket. Now all the items are linked together. They have emotion and action. And your brain loves that stuff. Honestly, the weirder, the better.
All right, this technique is legendary for a reason. Your brain is fantastic at remembering places, so the Mind Palace uses that. You basically place visual cues for things you want to remember along a path in a place you know really well, like your own house. You could picture a flaming frying pan on your living room couch to remember Mercury, and maybe a giant spinning globe in your bathtub to remember Earth. Now, having a great toolkit is one thing, but for information to truly last a lifetime, you absolutely need a system. This part is all about turning the act of remembering into a reliable, consistent habit. This is all based on something called the forgetting curve. See, if you learn something just once, your brain naturally starts to get rid of it. But if you review that information at specific, increasing intervals, like after a day, then a couple days later, then a week later, you're signaling to your brain, hey, this is actually important. And each time you do that, the memory gets stronger and more permanent. This metaphor really says it all.
Learning something just one time is like writing in the sand. The very next wave is just going to wash it away. Spaced repetition, on the other hand, is the process of carving that same information into stone. The most important point here is that one-time learning is basically fake learning. It's not going to stick.
Okay, now this is kind of like a hidden weapon for your memory. When you're sleeping, your brain isn't just turned off. It's actually really busy organizing and storing all the information from the day. So by doing a quick review of what you want to remember right before you fall asleep, you're basically putting it right on top of the pile for your brain to process and file away into long-term storage while you sleep.
So far, we've talked all about how to get information in, but this final step might be the most profound of all. It's about what you choose to keep out. Because a powerful memory isn't just about what you can store, it's about having the mental space to store it in the first place.
I love this idea. Think of your mind as a garden. Now, if you let weeds, all that useless junk, the notifications, the mindless scrolling, if you let them grow wild, they will absolutely choke out the flowers you're actually trying to cultivate. A strong memory requires you to actively protect and take care of your mental environment. And here's how you can actually do it. Start your day with just 5 minutes of quiet, not with your phone. Unfollow accounts that just fill your head with noise. At night, try journaling to get all your thoughts out of your head and onto paper. And maybe take an hour a day with no screens at all. These aren't just little wellness tips. They are essential habits for protecting your memory.
So let's be really clear about this. If you feel forgetful, it is not a personal failing. You're not lazy. It's a symptom of a cluttered, overstimulated mind. Your brain literally has no space left to store what matters because it is flooded with so much stuff that doesn't. The solution is to create that space.
And ultimately, that's what this all comes down to. A powerful memory isn't just an exercise in learning more things. It's a conscious decision to protect your focus and make room for what truly matters to you. So the real question isn't just what will you learn, but what is important enough for you to protect and make space for.